In this video, I'm going to talk about the advanced product segmentation method that I had referred to in one of the recent case studies that I had shared, where we had scaled a beauty brand literally to the moon. So this is a rather unconventional method, I'd say, because product segmentation is mostly done by media buyers across different agencies that I've seen and for different brands on the basis of ROAS or margin or even on the basis of LTV CAC. But what we decided to do in this case is to look at new products which are not yet spending enough but have a lot of potential based on whatever data is available, but more importantly based on similarity in characteristics. So what we did here is essentially took these different price points, as you can see, the brand that they belong to. By the way, so I'm actually not in a position to reveal the real names of the brands as well as the product names. But yeah, largely or at a very generic overarching level, it's a beauty brand, like I said. As you can see, the product categories have been revealed. So different body oils, lashes, or serums, and stuff like that, creams. So these are the different product categories. There are different brands. So this is one brand, but there are also sub brands within it. Which are different products, and they have their different products again, beauty related. But yeah, so these are the different points. These are the different data points that we were going to look at in order to find out new winning products on the basis of products which have already proven to be winning. So the brand that they belong to, or you can say the sub brand, the product category, price band, and we divided the price band or segregated the products by the price bands. So like high, low, and medium. And then we also had the seasonality element. So some of the products are more suited to the hair or the skin, and depending on the month of the year or the season. And then there is also the question whether or not the product is having an offer or promotion. So these are the different points that we took, and then on the basis of some products which are already doing well, we sought to find out which are the other products which are having similarity in these features. So that's where the term similarity analysis comes into the picture. So essentially, this is also called neighborhood analysis or a similarity analysis. You're trying to basically find out products which are similar to the winning products, and that eventually will get you to newer or previously untested or uncharted territory, essentially new products which will be giving you more winning products in the coming future. So that is the concept of product segmentation. So you're segmenting on the basis of features and the similarity between those features of the distance. So distance here, just to give an overview of what we are really talking about. So data science, the field of data science has a lot of similarity measures or distance metrics. You can just look them up if you're interested. There are large number of ways to measure the similarity between two data points. Okay, and these can be measured in a number of ways. And so the kind of similarity metric that we were looking at, that we were looking for, was one which would enable us to find the distances between categorical variables. So categorical variables means that the variable has non-numerical values. So for instance, product category here or price band, these are not taking any numerical values. And even if it takes numerical values, by the way, it may be ordinal. So for instance, if it was for instance, it would be a discrete, not it would be basically bands, right? So it can be like between 2K and 3K, or between say 0.5 to 1.5K. So if that happens, that's ordinal, and then or it's ordered data, and that is essentially a category, even if it's numerical in appearance. So that is the whole point here of the analysis that we are trying to get to, that it's categorical, and that's why we needed a similarity metric. And Gower metric, or rather Gower distance, is essentially um, a very popular and well accepted way of measuring distance in the data science field for precisely this reason, for allowing similarity calculation over categorical variables. So that's what we have chosen, and I'll explain in a moment what really Gower distance is all about. But I just wanted to show you what the output looks like, and what we are really trying to achieve. So this is the data set. Like I said, a couple of columns here are dummy because I could not reveal the actual as per the NDA agreement, the actual brand names of the products. But the product category, price band, offers, promotion, and seasonality element are the different data points that we collected. So there are a set of 50 products here, and in the actual case there was more. And once you have this data set, and once you run the analysis for Gower distance, this is what comes out. Okay, so you have basically the 50 products across the horizontal row, and in the column section you also have 50 products. So essentially what you're trying to understand is what is the level of similarity, pairwise level of similarity between two products. So if you look at this set here, much like you would probably look at a cohort analysis table, right? If you're familiar with cohort analysis, it's kind of, I mean, the concept is similar. You're looking at, the particular cell, you're looking at both the row and the column simultaneously. So as you can see here, if you notice this diagonally, it's constantly going into zeros, and that's because the way this has been calculated, the more similar a couple of products are, the the closer it is going to go to 0, and the more dissimilar they are, the closer it's going to go to 1. So it varies between 0 and 1, 0 being the most similar, and 1 being the most dissimilar. So obviously product 1 and 1, they're the same product, so they're most similar, and therefore it's 0. And similarly, if you look at 1 and 2, you'll see it's 0.67, so they have a significant level of dissimilarity, and that's why it's much higher, it's close to 0.7. If you look at anything which is on the lesser side, you'll see that 1 and 9 are actually pretty similar, and that's why the Gower metric, or the Gower distance score, is actually quite less, and it's closer to 0, right? It's closer to 0.2. So here's another one. These two products would be considered similar. So if we were to analyze this and use this data, how would we use it? So we would try to find out we'll just take a few of those products, which are the winning products, and then we would obviously just look at which are the ones which have the highest level of similarity, meaning the lowest score, and then we would know that these have the highest probability, given this model, of being the next winners. So that's essentially the idea. It's a pretty simple idea. You just need to you just need to sort of order the numbers here and come up with the least of these, and then you find your winning products. So that is the entire idea. That's the outcome of the activity that we're going to go to. And let's look at a couple of other things that we have. So what I have done is I'm going to show you a couple of methods of achieving this. So this is actually a Google Sheet method. I'm also going to show you a method using Python. So in Google Sheet, it's just that simple. This is essentially a done-for-you tool, you can say. Once again, as you can see, the data set is exactly the same. All you have to do is just paste the data here. You have to keep the names the same in this case, and then you also apply an app script formula over it. So I'm just going to open that for you. Not a formula, but rather a piece of code. And so it's going to calculate this function, Gower matrix, and then it's going to do its magic. Essentially, it's doing pretty much the same thing. It's going to try and find out the pairwise distances. Okay, so that's what it's trying to do, and once it has found out the pairwise distances, it's going to output what's called the Gower matrix, which I just showed you in this sheet just a while back. So that's what it's doing at the back end. The good thing about it is, is that it's you just have to run it once. You have to open the app script sections by going to extensions and clicking on app script, and then once that's done, you can actually get the output here in this another sheet within the spreadsheet called Gower metrics. And there you go. I mean, it's the output is similar, but the numbers are a little different, and that's because this is a slightly simplified version, but it still serves the purpose. So what it's doing here is it's calculating something called the Hamming distance. So again, like I said at the start of the video, there are multiple ways of calculating similarity, of measuring similarity within data science, and this is another of those ways, which is a very simple way. The Hamming distance essentially tries to find out the number of cases, for the within the number of features uh, where there is a difference. Okay, and if there is a difference, it assigns a value of uh, of 1, and if there's no difference, it just assigns a value of 0. So for instance, within product 1 and product 1, which are obviously the same products, you have a number of features, right? So the number of features we have is 5, right? So it will calculate how many times out of those 5 instances of features there is a difference between product 1 and product 1. There is none, right? That's why, so it's 0 by 5, so it's 0. Similarly, within product 1 and product 2, it's just going to calculate how many of these features are different. That's going to go into the numerator. In the denominator will be 5, and then it comes up with the output, so it's 0.8. So that's how it's actually going to do that, and it's a very simple way of calculating Gower distance, but it's still logical, and again, it's a pairwise calculation, and you get the entire output. So this again is a DFY tool, so it's you can just get started with it immediately. So one thing, obviously in our case, we understood that these are the right data points to look at. Again, for every brand, it might be a little different. For each brand, it might be a little different. It might be the case that you would have to look at other data points and you would have to make tweaks accordingly. So you can get in touch with me, and I can guide you in the right direction as to how you can edit this entire setup and basically get the analysis for Gower distance, uh, which is going to be tailored for your specific use case. Now I'm going to show you the Python method, and so the Python calculation that I'm going to show, which is actually going to give this output. So this output is actually being taken from the Python calculation. This is a more comprehensive way, and it's actually going to take into account the fact that Gower distance can handle multiple data types. In our case, of course, there's only one data type. It's only categorical variables. As you can see here, that the numerical values are calculated using the concept of range. So you're essentially calculating an L1 distance, and then it is normalized by a certain value, which is essentially the range of the feature. So then for the categorical values, it will be simply 1 in this case if they're very similar, and 0 if they're not. So this is again, there can be multiple ways of doing it. In the case that I was showing, it's just the opposite. You are having 0 if they're similar, and 1 if they're not. So that's because you're calculating it from the concept of distance. So if there is difference, then there is more distance, right? And that's why it's 1. So anyway, that's just convention, whichever convention you follow. But yeah, so for numerical variables, it's really the range that matters, and obviously you're taking for any two values, you're calculating the score by taking the absolute value between the difference of the absolute values, or the absolute value of the difference between the two values, and then you are just normalizing it by the range. There's also given a Python implementation of it here. I haven't used this, but you can also take a look at this, and you can see here how finally these scores are calculated. So you can take a look at this table, and you'll also get an idea. So I'll put a link to this particular page in my video, and you can have a look. Now I'm going to quickly show the Python code that I'm talking about. This, by the way, is making use of this particular GitHub repository for Gower distance, and this is the one that I'm making use of. So this already has defined this particular GitHub calculation, or you can say GitHub method that has been put up by someone. Again, I'm not affiliated, but I just found it useful, and they have already predefined Gower distance. So that's why all we had to do is just install Gower, and then we had to invoke the power of Gower. There you go. So we just imported it once more. So all you have to do here is install Gower, and you have to install obviously the pandas and NumPy packages, and we obviously had to go through the process of importing files within Google Colab. So the data set was already available in CSV format, the same data set that I just showed you in the Google Sheet. And once that's done, we just have to import Gower. So very little code here actually. And as you can see, that gives us the Gower matrix. So the Gower matrix is the same as has been put up here, as you will see. So this is the same output from here that I've just downloaded. And so you have a couple of methods here, whichever one you want to use, you can do. But like I said, for your specific use case, you might have to tweak the features that you're going to use. And but yeah, it's ready to go. This is something that helped us carry out product segmentation much more meaningfully, and we were able to find out several new winning products almost on a monthly basis. Every month we would on a weekly basis, certainly on a monthly basis, we were able to find out winning products, but sometimes even on a weekly basis we were able to do so. Again, over what date range you will choose to run this analysis for is entirely up to your case, and the level of statistical significance that's been achieved or attained, you will also have to figure that out. So given that, I think this is a pretty neat little technique. I'm also going to come up with more advanced ways of other advanced ways of product segmentation that we have been trying here at Occident, and I'm going to share that with you guys in future videos. So hope you like this video, and if you like it, do like, share, and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.